Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My name is Ashraf Kuba. I'm the Administrative Secretary, Education Department, Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. With me is Sheikh JUMA BAKHIT, who is the Minister of Education, Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. Today, we are going to discuss about education system in Uganda. Let's go straight forward. Sheikh, what is the definition of education in your views?
I don't know. But for me, let me begin by, because now very many people have different definitions of what education is.
Yes.
And that is what makes education. But let me begin by the type of definition given by an African professor and that one given by a European professor, and we see the difference. I got a definition from a man called James Majasan of the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. He defined education as an art of learning. That is Masaja 1967. Then Lane, this is a European, of 1996, in his book, in page 1, he says, he defines education as a transmission of wisdom, knowledge, experience, and skills. So you can see the two differences. This one says it is the African says the art of learning. So once you learn, when you have knowledge, that is education.
Yes.
But for this one, he went beyond that. He said transmission of wisdom, knowledge, experience, and skills. Do you see? So education is a progressive development of cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domain for areas. That's how the education is. It is the means by which human beings address their challenges. You know, there are so many challenges around us. These challenges are either a natural disaster or they are man-made problems. So how do you solve this problem? You need knowledge to solve this problem. That's what forms what education is. So education, in other words, to me, it is when you are liberated from problems. What makes it education is when you learn from the problems and you are able to overcome and solve a problem. The moment you reach a level of solving a problem, you are educated. But knowing the problem alone, you are not educated. Yes? Knowing problem, you are not educated. Yes.
And Sheikh, how does education or our education system in Uganda help in solving the problems or the challenges that we are facing now today in our education system?
We have not yet reached the level of solving a problem. That's why you see our first definition there. Ours is learning. You are in P1, you are learning. You are in O level, you are learning. You go to A level, you are learning. You go to university, you are learning. There is no time you can now start to solve a problem. Now, what are the problems? Let me give you an example. For example, we have those who have made medical facilities, those who have come up with the medical facilities. You see, you have microscope to check onto the diseases of people. You have theater where you can operate. You have things like gadgets like X-rays. You understand? All these are developed, they are manufactured in order to solve a health problem. Now, our universities cannot manufacture these things. They can't manufacture microscope. They can't manufacture X-rays. They cannot manufacture. There's this time now, there is when a mother has is developing, the womb is developing, there is that machine you put onto the stomach of the mother, you can be able to see what is there. We don't have ability to develop these machines. We can only buy them from those who develop it, which means that we cannot solve the health problem. That's number one. Number two, solving the issue of security. Our government we have the firearm. We have the firearm in our arsenals. You can see the policemen, the soldiers moving with the guns, but they don't manufacture them. Which means our education system has not reached that level of solving a problem. That's why our government can buy it. You can buy from Yugoslavia, you can buy from Russia, you can buy from America, from China, but China cannot buy from here. You cannot manufacture. We are not solving that problem. Agriculture. In Uganda, Agric is an optional subject. What is English? English, unfortunately, English is compulsory. You must pass English for them to know that you are educated. So our measurement of education in Africa is if you speak English very well. That is the measure that you are educated in. You understand? Yes. Yet in China, they don't know English.
In Russia,
they don't know English.
Yes.
But they are the manufacturers, yes. Which means you understand. Yeah. Now that's a problem. We have a problem of food security. We cannot solve that. Telephone. We need to communicate. A person from Arua must communicate with somebody from Chisoro using a phone.
Yes.
But we have phones, but our universities don't manufacture these phones. You want to transfer money, you need ATM card. We cannot produce these things, we cannot manufacture these things in our universities, but we need them. We can't solve these problems. We need to manage time. We need watches. But there is no university that teaches how to manufacture. Let us not repair phone. We have repairing of phone and manufacture. We cannot manufacture these phones. But you cannot hear. You can only repair it, so we cannot solve problems. Fuel. You know, in Uganda now we have discovered that we have fuel. Yes. But we cannot refine this fuel. The fuel that we are using in our cars should be imported. But the fuel that is here, the crude oil, need to be taken to be refined. So we sell it out cheaply and we import expensively because our system is not, education system is not mature enough to do that. And then electricity. You need light. Like this, we need light here. But can we make it? We can't make it. We shall have those dams, you can have this, but those are things we transfer, but we cannot make them. You have to buy those machines expensively from those universities that can produce them. You see that? So here, it tells us what type of education we have. You understand? Yes.
And now, Sheikh, since our education does not address the challenges that we are facing here in Africa, most especially Uganda, what should the government do, or the Minister of Education, to address or to change the system of learning in our education system?
You see, first of all, the problem comes from our type of curriculum. We are still using the colonial model of curriculum, what is called this, it is called the GBC, grade-based curriculum, which was designed, you know, the Europeans designed the two types of curriculum. There is a curriculum which is called the CBC, which is a curriculum for the first world countries, and then there's a curriculum called GBC, that is for the third world countries. Now, GBC is a grade-based curriculum, where a child bangs first grade, or second grade, or third grade. Then you say, this child is very clever. Why is he clever? He got A's in his what? And people will celebrate. He got A's. What does A mean? A means that the child they have developed the child's what? We call it memory capacity, but not reasoning capacity. You understand? Yes. They have developed memory capacity, which means they can remember what the teacher has taught them. What is photosynthesis? Then you say photosynthesis is the process by which the plants manufacture their own food using sunlight in the presence of chlorophyll. That is photosynthesis. That is what the teacher tells you, and that's what exactly you should produce during the time of exams. And that one is called grade what? Then you first grade, second grade, the best, he is the best in what? In doing what? You understand?
Yes.
Now, the Chinese, when they realized that they are in school, but they cannot produce watches, they cannot produce vehicles, they cannot produce computers. They said no. They went and benchmarked with the West. They found that the curriculum the West are using is not the one they produce for them. Then they cancelled their education. They changed the education system completely. They said no. Let us begin by having competence-based curriculum where children should be geared towards problem solving. Children should be engaged so that they can be able to think critically.
And have the skills.
Skills, they should begin to develop skills. And children begin to develop skills at the young age. What the Chinese children are doing in kindergarten is what our children do after 25 years of age. You see that?
Yes.
Here, our children in kindergarten, it is about dancing. We are dancing in the name of the Lord. We are tasting in the name of the Lord. That is what we think we are teaching children. And we teach them English language. The English is not the issue. The issue is skills. Can you make a bicycle? Can a child repair electricity? Can you generate? You see? So, in Africa, education starts from class and ends up in looking for jobs. A child has his papers, he has a degree, now he's looking for jobs. But for them, it begins in class and ends in industry. It begins in class, it ends in production. It begins in class, it ends up in manufacture. That is where